What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I love coming to you guys and talking about all of the interesting topics and things that I've come across over the last little bit. So please make sure that you do leave your comments, hey, and information. So we are getting ready to make this happen. Can you believe we are in here with this topic today? Are you ready for this? So, talking today about pro life or pro choice, where are you at? Where do you stand on that topic? So, I'm watching the chat boxes and I'm listening to you guys, and I'm so excited that everyone is going to be able to be a part of this tonight. And I really want to hear your opinion, I want to hear your view. I also had an opportunity to put in a little survey. So, you guys leave me some messages, leave me some comments there in the surveys, and let me know how that is for you. What do you think? What's your thought? What's your thought about all of that? So, if you have any questions for me today, or if you are wondering at all about all of the things that we'll be sharing today, all of the things that we'll be going over today, you can feel free to just put it in the chat box. I really want to hear where you're from. I really want to know kind of what you're thinking and where your views are when it comes to this. So we've talked about a lot of different pretty cool things, really cool things actually here over the last couple of weeks. And I really just thank you guys for showing up strong every day and coming in and hearing about the things that we've discussed and enjoying all of the speakers that we've had come on. So I just want to say thank you for being a part of this process and a part of this journey with me. I have extremely appreciated your input and your time. So please do make sure you say hello. Please do be sure to drop your information in the comments as we are going through this and enjoying this journey. So let's go ahead and get ready to get started. So remember, if you do have any questions or you want to chime in with your thoughts and your feelings about the different things that we are doing, I encourage you to feel free to do that before we and as we are going through this really interesting topic that has a lot of people really riled up. And I'm not here to make judgments or here to push an agenda or anything like that. I really just kind of want to talk about the topics. I want to hear what you're thinking about. I have a lot of moms that I work with that have opinions one way or the other. And so I want to know from you, what's your opinion? What is it that you think about all of this stuff? And what is it that you really want to get people to understand, get people to know, and follow through on? So, again, I'd love to hear your comments. It would be so wonderful to dialogue and kind of talk back and forth about those things that you are interested in, those things you want to know more about. And I'm going to share, of course, a little bit of what I've learned in the process. So, again, let's get ready to get started. And thanks so much for being a part. So, the first thing I want to say is, as you guys saw me post before, this has been just an absolutely wonderful weekend. I had a chance to spend some time with Gail Reese and many other authors, and we had the wonderful opportunity of receiving awards while we were there with her. So we actually got a chance to meet a good 25 authors, I would say, a good 25 authors that came together and were just truly blessed and surprised by the fact that we were given awards while we were there. It was really a wonderful and a great time had by all. I believe I had just absolutely a wonderful time. But the something that I thought was really, really interesting was the fact that, and enjoyed a lot, was the fact that Jeffrey Golden, who won the BET's Sunday's Best. He won that, and it was wonderful that he did. He's from my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, and he actually came and sang. He ministered, and it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Just the anointing that is on his life, and the journey that God is taking him through right now. So it was really absolutely wonderful to have him there, to be a part of the entire process, and it was just such a blessing. So I am again extremely excited to have you on. I'm glad that you're here with us. And please remember, as you see the notes in the chat box, go ahead and put in where you're from, and I would love to say hello to you. And then make sure, if you're not already, that you join in and follow, so that you can get announcements for the future shows, and make sure that you share the information out. So I want to show you first, before we get going, the awards that we got that day. That was really, really neat. So we received these certificates. You can see that we received these certificates, and they're really nice, and they say presented to Tomesha Walker, February 4th, 2017, the Warrensville Heights Library. We honor you for your literary contributions and your gifts as an author, which has enhanced the lives of many in our community by providing knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. Thank you for your commitment and dedication. Presented by Young Adults Kingdom Solutions and Ministry of Reconciliation. And it says, at the bottom it says, the National African American Read-In, sponsored by the Black Caucus of NCTE, which is the National Council of Teachers of English, and NCTE. So that was really an amazing honor, and I thank you, everybody who helped to make that event go off successfully and to do well. So thank you so much for being a part of that. I really appreciate that. It was really an awesome time. Like I said, it was myself and about 20 other authors. You know what? I just noticed something. I don't have my light on. So let me turn that on so you can actually see me a little bit better. That should be a little bit more helpful. There we go. Alright, so here we go. Let's get into the meat of all of this. Let's get into the nitty gritty of everything that we're going to be talking about today. So again, make sure you share this information out. Make sure you are letting people know about this as we get ready to break down the good stuff. Okay? So, first off, one of the authors that I met while I was there, who was really, really neat, was an author by the name of Pastor Walter Moss. And he wrote Why I Am a Black Pro-Life Pastor. Why I am a Black Pro-Life Pastor. And so a lot of what we'll be talking about will be from here. And I thought that it was just very, very good. Very detailed, some really good information. And so I want to share it with you, and then I want to hear your opinion as well. So it talks about many of the different topics, and it goes through a lot of different things, but I really only want to focus on one or two things that he has in here. So it goes through a lot of different things. Okay, so so he talks about being a pro-life pastor. So I do want to share his information from that side, but again, I am open to hear what everyone has to say. Right? So he starts off with the statistics, right? And he starts off with the statistics in this way. He used a quote from Cindy Hopkins of CareNet that says, "The numbers must be important to God. Numbers is one of the books in his holy word." So he said he was at a pro-life meeting and he realized in his heart that he had to do more because the stats were grabbing him. It's not AIDS, not homicide, not cancer, not heart disease, not other related illnesses that lead the causes of death in the black community. By far, the leading cause of death is abortion. Out of every 2 pregnancies, up to and even more than 50% are aborted. So I pose the question to you, with that information, where do you stand? Where do you stand? Here's another stat. According to the 2010 census, the Hispanic population at 16%, the African American population is at 12%. The African American population is being dwarfed. Since the Roe versus Wade decision in 1973, over 14.5 million black babies have been murdered, destroyed in the womb. Abortion, he believes, is euphemism. Abortion is a euphemism for murdering babies. Any baby aborted is a murdered child. African American babies are 4.8 times more likely to be murdered than Caucasian babies. And he poses the question, are you concerned about population growth? Which is looking at how many of a certain population will grow, right? Are you concerned about that? So, when you hear things like this, how does it make you feel? Are you upset about it? Are you okay with it? What is your thought when it comes to hearing things like that? What's your thought? That is my question today. There's so many things that we're dealing with. There's so many things that are going on. What is it that you're thinking when it comes to things like that? When you are dealing with all of those different types of things, what is it? What does it say to you? What is that thought for you? What are you dealing with when you hear that so many things are happening to different populations? Not just African Americans, but different populations. What do you think? So that's my cry out today. That's my call to you. What is it that you are thinking about when it comes to all of these issues, all of these things that you are seeing, everything that is happening around you? What is it? What is the issues that you feel are most pressing, or that are coming against you at this time? What do you feel? Because for me, it's a little scary. I get kind of nervous with things like this when I hear this information, because I know with the moms that I'm working with, of all the things that we see, of all the things that we do, of all the places that we go, of all the information that we hear, it seems as if this information oftentimes comes out and is given away as misinformation. It's not really shared with people. That's what I notice a lot of times. I find that it seems so many moms, so many parents are just told that it would be a better way, or it would be a better route if you do this. Never talked about with the understanding that it is going to cause some lasting effects for you. There's going to be some real problems following this. And whether you see those issues, whether it's emotional issues, physical issues, relational issues, however it might be, there are issues. There are things that you have to address and deal with following making a decision like this. And I honestly feel like many times people are not presented with the understanding that this could happen. Now, mind you, I preface this with the understanding that I've never actually gone into the process of having an abortion. I have been offered that. So you guys know I have 4 kids by birth and 4 by wedding present. And the reason why I wrote my first book was to inspire hope in people, because with our third child of those 4 by birth, he was diagnosed with some very severe medical issues. So you guys know that having that happen, we had to make some very serious choices. And one of the very first things that they gave us an option with when we got those test results back was that we abort. Okay, so that's as close to those options as I came, and my decision was, no, it's not something that I want to do. It's not even an option. That's just how I felt. So today I'm coming on with the Ask Tomesha show just to get your feedback, to get your thoughts. Are you pro-life? Are you pro-choice? I really want to open up the conversation because I have many moms that have had kids or that I work with as a doula for them, and they fall on either side of the fence. But I want to give them more perspectives and more information from individuals. So I would love to hear your thoughts, love to hear your comments. I'm watching the chat box. I'm checking you out, making sure that you guys can hear me and that I can see you. So let me look back in over here and just make sure that everything's okay over here and that everyone can see me. So yeah, I am so happy that you are able to be with me today, that you're able to share your insight and your information with me. To be quite honest, these topics can be really difficult to cover with people sometimes. And so I try to be cautious about the way that I share information and the things that I say, because I really still want to be able to reach people where they are. So know that I am not passing any sort of judgment. I am not attempting in any way to do anything to make you feel that for some reason you are not able to continue on with whatever your choice is. I don't want you to ever feel judged by me. That's not what I'm saying in any way, shape, or form. I do want you to hear me. I want you to know that I care. I want you to know that I appreciate you, and that I honestly thank God for you being in my life. So if there's anything that you want to share, anything that you want to say, I would love to hear your voice and have you be a part of this conversation. So if there is anything else that you want to ask or that you want to say, again, you are more than welcome to come and join me. Please make sure you do share this out to other individuals so that they can learn as well, so that they can receive information and that they can chime in also. So here's my other thought for today, and we're going to read a little bit more from this amazing book. I was so excited that I was able to meet him. Very, very, very cool. It's very, very, very cool. So let's get ready to take a look back in the book and see, and I'm going to check the other chat box really quickly to make sure that I'm not missing any of you guys' comments. So let's take a look. So, all right. Now I can talk. Okay. Okay. So, very good thought. Very good thought, guys. So, let's take a look at this. So, again, this beautiful pamphlet goes over many different things. But here's what I want to share with you. What else I want to share with you from here? There's a section that says abortion affects everyone. So I'm gonna love hearing you guys' comments back about this, and understand I'm just sharing. I'm just sharing because I want people to be able to know. I want people to be able to chat, to respond, to talk about these things. Okay. So it says abortion affects everyone. Cry aloud. Spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions. Isaiah 58:1. Think about how abortion affects families. Diane Stevens, co-author of Sexy Christian, with her husband Dr. Ted Stevens, said this: grandchildren are your reward for not killing your children. While she said it lightly and we laughed, the truth is that many do not have grandchildren simply because they participated in abortion. That led to complications and infertility. And as stated, there is a three-pronged attack in this nation, strategized by the devil, all involving sexual purity. Abortion, number 1. Homosexuality, number 2. And same-sex marriage, number 3. All three strategies of the devil are set to destroy us. When the government makes law in opposition to the Word of God, everyone's life is at stake. The cornerstone of the law is that sanctity of life. When this is removed, culturally, there is an acceleration of lawlessness. What does that mean? The crime rate will go up. Where there is lawlessness, where there is a spirit of death approved by government sanction, there will be a lawless society. When I see what is happening nationwide, looking at the numbers, how could I not speak up, he says. How could I not cry for the babies whose lives are being aborted, murdered every day? Black babies are being aborted instead of us adding to the population. Now add to that lawlessness. Add to that black on black crime and murders in our communities. So we are losing people. God said to me, wake up, cry aloud, speak up, speak out. I am going to stop there in his book. And again, if you would like to get it, it is Why I Am a Black Pro-Life Pastor by Pastor Walter S. Moss. Great book. Great book. I like it just because it's a simple, it's a short, it's a quick read, but it has a lot of detail and information in it so that you can share without feeling like you're bogged down in a whole lot of details and information. It just gives it to it quick, simple, and with supporting facts. So I like that a lot. So he gives his opinion, he gives his heart, he gives how he feels, but then at the same time, he is also giving exactly kind of what you need to make sure that you are getting everything that you need to have. So here is what else I am thinking of. As we look at the days ahead and the changes that are happening and everything that is going on, I just want to encourage you that no matter what you see, no matter what you hear, No matter what the struggles might be, understand that it's going to be okay. It is really going to be okay. So many people are going through and dealing with multiple things that have come about for them because of choices, decisions, issues that they have dealt with and that they are going through. But the more that you press through, that you keep going, even in the midst of struggle, I truly believe, and I have seen this happen, that you can get through to the other side. And when you decide to do something, when you decide to have a better life, to do more, the possibilities become more than just possibilities. They become realities. Let me say that again. The possibilities become more than possibilities. They become realities. So if you think, this is not going to work, I can't do this is not the right time for a baby, I just don't understand, I don't think I can do this, I'm in this alone, I don't really have all the support that I need. First of all, understand that you're alone. No, you're not. It might feel that way, but really, there is support. There is support. There's so many places that you can reach out to, people that you can talk to. You can contact me. For my moms here, I have just about a 13-page resource list that they get. All of my executive doula clients have an opportunity to work through that. And it's a part of, because I know who those referrals are, when they come up and they say, oh my gosh, this is going on, this is what I need, I am able to say, let me take care of that for you. Let me get you the right person for that. Here, go talk to this person. Let me give you their number. Here's their address. Here's their email. Here's their website. Here's the experience that we've had with them. We all need a friend like that. And I am your support. I am your friend like that. So he talks about it from the pro-life side. Okay, so let's think about this. So when you talk about just exactly who and what is real, is a baby, is choice, is true. Pro-choice is advocating for legalized abortion. So, legalized abortion, of course, being abortions that are approved and okayed by the government, right? So, for years, I have heard the debate of if you take these things away, as far as them being legalized, so places where you can actually go to get these things done, that more women are going to die because they're going to be trying to get abortions in locations that are unhealthy and unsafe for them. So it in conversations where I hear people talking, and then of course to balance that, the pro-life is talking about opposing abortions and euthanasia. So in this instance, we're talking about abortion, so opposing abortions. So it, to me, many times seems like the age-old adage of which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Because I hear the thoughts and I hear the comments about the fact that if they just didn't make the baby in the first place. Okay, so if you're on the Ask Tomesha show, you know we're going to talk about the real deal, because we're always talking about mother-baby things, and we all know how the little people got to be here. It was not by eating a watermelon seed. I'm just saying. Okay? So, when you come across individuals that have this conversation, so a lot of times the things that come up are, well, had they just kept their legs closed, they wouldn't have had to deal with this issue. It wouldn't have been a problem, right? So I think about that thought. I go through that comment and I say, okay, I hear that, I do. But what if they didn't realize that that was really an option? We have so many people that are hurting that don't have parents, specifically women that don't have fathers, that are stable fathers and in the home. So I've seen over the last decade or two the erosion that has happened in the African American families, and specifically with fathers in the families. So when you have a grouping of people, a family that does not have that support in that direction, what do you do? What do you do? They don't know exactly where to go. They don't know what to do because they haven't been taught how to be loved, who to listen to, who to be around. What do you do? So that's my question when it comes to looking at if it's more of a cycle, or and posing the question, is it really even about pro-life and pro-choice? Okay, so when you look at being for legalized abortions, why are you for legalized abortions? I hear about the health factor, and I've even heard people bring up the thought of, let me check the comment box. Bring up the thought about if someone is assaulted and or in any way, I'll just put it like that, in any way, what do you do? What do you do? If you don't legalize it, which is why some people say that they are for having abortions, because why would you make them? Why would you make them keep the baby after having been assaulted? And I feel you. I hear that. But when you look at the statistics, they're very, very low. And it was reported that there were 1%. So that means that yes, it's still happening. It's still happening. But I believe that the way that it is portrayed as if it is this huge epidemic, and if we don't address it and help those that need help in that respect, because something has happened, something dramatic has happened to them, that there's going to be a huge problem, that there's going to be all of these women that are not being helped. And I feel it does a disservice when it's improperly represented. So I've also heard people suggest that maybe there should just be legalized abortions for those issues, for those situations, when many times though, even though that's been posted, even though people say that, then I hear, no. It has to be for everybody. You need to have the choice to not have the baby. And then I hear the other side. Did the baby have a choice in being here or not? Even for the late term abortions and things like that have been happening or that have been proposed to happen. Is that really okay? When you have a baby coming out and crying, but because it was a choice to no longer have that child, you went for it, or the opportunity was taken to have that happen because it wasn't comfortable for someone's life. Didn't always have to be mom. It could have been somebody else. But because it wasn't comfortable at that time, or they didn't feel like they could provide at that time. And so I was talking to someone the other day about this, and they were saying to me, now, I understand that there are places where there are orphanages, there are adoption agencies, there are other options for children if you decide that you don't want to have them, right? But my response, because, okay, so the point that they were saying that was because they were saying, I get it. They could do something different, but who's really going to do something different was the question. But take a look at this. Each stage that a child goes through, they are growing, they are ever changing, they are becoming a new whole person. A new person. A new person. All of the growth, all of the shifting, all of the changing is happening. It's not even like it's gas. And mind you, after I had my little people, I kind of felt that way. Like maybe I was having another one, but no, but okay, maybe it's gas. But I'm talking about when it's really not. When it's really not gas. When it really is a little person and they're growing and moving and stretching and becoming greater and bigger and more. Greater and bigger and more. This is what I'm talking about. Little people. Growing from small, itty bitty little embryos into beautiful, beautiful little ones that you can hold and sing to and hug and cry with and smile with and talk with and eat with. Whatever side of the fence you might be on, whatever you might think, please be aware. There are many, many different options, many, many different choices. But in the end, whatever you decide, please remember that after you make your decision, you must live with your decision. I have talked to moms that have come to me and asked me to be their doula. And whenever that happens, we talk through what has been your medical history. And when we talk through that, many times part of the fear is associated with the fact that they have had previous abortions. When you have an abortion, you are having a procedure done not only to the baby, but to you, to your body. And what has been seen is, especially when you have multiple procedures, it is more difficult when you go to have your next child. And it's not the same for everyone, but it's a trend that I'm noticing, and I believe that other providers have noticed as well. So please be so careful when you are making choices and decisions about your life and about others' lives as well. Please be ever so careful, because you have to live with that. Now, please know and understand, again, I'm just bringing thoughts and information from both sides, pro-life and pro-choice. I look forward to your thoughts, your comments. Please make sure you share this out. Please make sure you also do join with me and follow, turn on your notifications so that you can know when I'm on and live streaming, as we will always have good content and good information, and we also have special guests many times. I'm glad that you guys were able to join me today. It was such a pleasure to talk to you as we were reviewing a bit of the book, Why I Am a Black Pro-Life Pastor by Pastor Walter S. Moss, and just talking through some of the tips and information that he provides in there, a few of the stats, and just listening to your feedback and the things that you want to share and that you have to say. Remember, I care so much about you, and I just want you to have the opportunity to make an informed decision, whatever it is that you decide to do. You guys know, as a doula, my training is to support. So I am here to support you in your journey. That's why I created Birth in 2017. It's so that you know exactly what you need to do when you go to birth in 2017. All of the little tips and tricks that people might not tell you about for providers and different care opportunities that you can have during pregnancy, that I find so many moms don't know anything about, but that are so helpful and advantageous to having an amazing pregnancy. I'm all for moms and babies. I also believe that God has given us free will and choice. So I'm not here to share my opinion on this show. We might do it a little later, but not on this show. I really just wanted to come and talk to you guys and share a little bit of information from pro-life and pro-choice options. If it's something that you want to hear about, I can share more about that maybe in a post on my website or on my Facebook page. We will continue the conversation over in the Fearless Moms Club. If you haven't joined into that wonderful community, I invite you right now. Please be my guest. Come on over and request to be a part of that closed group where we talk, we support, we encourage each other. I'd love for you to be a part of it. Thanks so much for joining me for the Ask Tomesha show. Please join us again for our next streaming broadcast. and I look forward to seeing you there soon. Remember, make today amazing, Mom, because you are, baby. Thank you guys so much for joining me, for being a part of the show today. Remember, you can leave any of your comments or questions. I would love to hear from you. But again, I just appreciate you being here, spending time with us, and making this a pretty awesome and amazing time. So, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.